What is up, people of the internet? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be talking about some controversial shit. It's going to be great, so I hope you have some time to listen for the next 5 to 10 minutes because, oh man, we're going to jump right into this. So, I typically come across very interesting people quite often, and many of the questions I get, typically from the female gender, is questions about my children. Now, often when you're trying to, I guess, communicate with a woman about, dating and relationships and things of that nature, they always want to bring up the question of, do you have kids? I have no problem answering these questions because I have nothing to hide here, okay? A man who is a single father is not the same as a woman who is a single mother. Let me explain. Okay, typically, when you are a single father, you have part-time access to your kids. What does that mean? That means you get the kids maybe once or twice a month, every other weekend, okay? And maybe the summers, maybe the holidays, etc. Spring break. Now, when you're a single mother, guess what that means? You get the kids 365, round the clock, all the time. Okay? And that is what I mean by they're not the same. Okay? Dating a single father is not the same as dating a single mother. Now, men don't give a shit. Men will date you. You can have 10 kids, 5 kids, different baby daddies. It doesn't matter. Okay? Men are going to date you. They're going to marry you. They're going to step up and be a stepfather, okay, to your children. Your snotty-nosed, undeserving children. Okay, now, when it comes to dating, women will scrutinize a man, ask him if he has kids, and then disqualify him based on the fact that he has kids, even though he might have his kids part-time, right? Every other weekend, maybe in the summer, okay? And for many fathers, it's like once or twice a year or not at all. And so the question keeps going, and they dig and they dig and they dig. And it's not that they're genuinely concerned and they feel bad for you, or that they're genuinely concerned for the kids and their well-being and their relationship with their parents. They don't give a shit about any of that. The only reason why a lot of these ladies ask these questions is because they want to disqualify you, okay? And I don't know how they come up with this mindset either. I'm thinking, like, how in God's world are you dating men who are 35 plus years old, 45 plus years old, and they've never had kids? They've never been married. What do you think these men were doing for the past 20 plus years? You think they were just twiddling their thumbs? No. They were doing what normal adults do. They went and got married, they went and started a family, and then obviously life happened and they got a divorce. Okay? So here you are dating men who are 35 years and up, okay? And yeah, they have a past. Yeah, they have kids out there. Okay? And the fact that girls want to disqualify men based upon that is absolutely ridiculous. But obviously it's nothing new, having women with unrealistic expectations. Okay, I don't think I have very high expectations for a woman when it comes to serious relationships or dating. I just want you to be under I just want you to be under 200 pounds. Okay, I know you want me to be over 6 feet tall. That's fine, but I want you to be under 200 pounds. Okay, now I'm going to read like some portions of this text message I was going back and forth with this particular lady, and I'll just kind of give my commentary because I find it comical and offensive. All right, so this lady says, "Do you have kids?" I said, "All of my children live in other states. So I guess you could say, no, I don't have kids." She says, "You don't see them?" I said, "I see them on average about once or twice a year. And that's if I'm lucky. Remember now, it's my body, my choice here in the United States. What do I mean by that in that text? Well, basically, if a woman decides she doesn't want you to have access to the kids, she doesn't have to ask the courts. She doesn't have to ask the police. Okay? It's basically squatters' rights in the case of parenting. Okay? Where the douchebag shithead gets away with shit that they should never get away with, right? They find a house that's unoccupied, they take up residence there and whatever, and now they have become a squatter. Okay, women in this case, they will have children, oftentimes by the husband, by the man they're married to. They will take these kids and weaponize them. Okay, and what do you do as the man? Well, you can't call Child Protective Services, right? You can't complain to them. But oh man, you go to Walmart and your kid acts up and acts a fool, and you tell him, now Johnny, be quiet. What happens? People call Child Protective Services for that, right? So they can take your kids easier than you can go get your kids. Isn't that terrible? I think that's terrible. So anyways, picking back up, she says, I'm sorry. I said, it's all good. I don't mind starting over. That's kind of the benefit of being a man, is you get to start over well into your late age. I was basically saying, look, I might have kids out there. I might have had a couple marriages and whatnot. But hey, as a guy, I get endless chances to start over and start another family. And she goes, I don't think that's how it goes. If you have kids, your job as their father is to take care of them. And I said, I can't take care of them if they live in another state and the mother apparently doesn't need my help. She can go get a stepdaddy to help her. Okay. The assumption here that a lot of ladies have is that if you have children as a man, automatically you're supposed to take care of them. Regardless if she decides to be under your roof and under your protection and under your authority, right? Because in her mind, she's thinking, well, the courts have my back. The courts are on my side. They're going to tell this douchebag here to pay his dues, to pay the child support and whatever. But little do women understand, or little do they know, is that you can't technically force a man to do that. Is he a shitty person? Perhaps. Is he wrong? Well, that depends on the circumstance. Not every single man who has children and who's not paying child support or whatever, or that's all he's doing is paying child support, that doesn't necessarily make him a deadbeat. Okay. And she responds, bullshit. I am a mom and have been a single mom. And I responded, I'm sorry, but if the woman chooses to leave, that's fully her choice, and responsibility falls on her, not me. She says, we need your help. It's if you don't want to, we're not going to make you. That's not true. And I said, well, the assumption is that men don't want to help, and that is not my case. I am not that type of man. I am here, I am willing to help, and I love my children. Okay, and she says, goodbye. I'm not gonna be with someone who won't take care of his own kids. And this is where I didn't hold back. I said, are you mentally challenged or something? I pay child support. Do you not understand that if a woman leaves a relationship, her responsibility to raise the children by herself falls on her? That is her choice. Now, please explain to me, if a man is good to his wife, he's not cheating, he's not beating her, he's being a normal husband, and the wife chooses to take the children and leave that household to go be with someone else or to pursue her own vain pursuits and be a strong, independent woman, how is that the man's responsibility? I'm sorry, but if If we own a car together and you decide that you want to take the car and drive to California and keep the car for yourself, please explain to me how I'm still responsible to pay for the car that I don't get to drive. That's the same concept with children, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not going to pay for a car I can't drive. You understand? You've made it very clear. I want the car. I'm taking it. I don't care if it's in your name. All right. You have stolen my vehicle. And at this point, either A, I'm going to try to recoup that vehicle from you. I'm going to try to go get it. All right. Legally, take legal action. Or B, you can have the piece of shit and keep it. And guess what? I'm not going to pay for it. So the same rule applies here. If a woman takes the children, guess what? A man does not feel that he is obligated to pay jack shit to you. That means you don't get a damn penny. Get that through your thick skull, ladies. If you take the child and say, I don't want him to help me, I don't want his influence on my children, I don't want him to see these kids. Well, guess what? That is your decision. That means you have taken full responsibility for that child. He is no longer responsible. I don't care what the courts say. I don't care what you think should happen. And here she goes and she says, well, people over here in my state, they go to jail if they don't pay child support. I said, he can literally tell the courts and you to kick rocks because he doesn't have to pay anything. She's like, yes, he does. It's jail time if you don't. I said, yeah, and plenty of men are willing to go sit in jail and let you go without any money. All right. They have their buddies in jail. They're not forcing a man. They're not going to force a man to pay. You understand? Like, men are very willing and happy to go sit in jail, play some cards, work out, and enjoy the socializing and the group activities with their buddies in jail, as opposed to paying you. It's a form of protest. Do you understand that? That means they don't give a shit what you think. They don't care what the courts have ruled, because wrong is wrong. All right? And so some men do understand that. That's why you ladies don't get it. You don't understand. Like, when you make a child with somebody, okay, they don't owe you shit. They don't care. You understand? Unless you have a marriage contract and you've married this man, right? I think he's going to be more so of the understanding that I should be there for this family. But if you're having children out of wedlock, you think men care? You think these guys are going to stick around? No, I'm sorry. You know what they're going to do? They're going to find 5 or 10 other women to get pregnant. You know why? Because they know at least half of those women are going to stick around and the other half are going to skip town and never let him see his child again. So why not? Why not knock up 10, 20 women? You understand? Do you not understand like how this perpetuates problems in society? Fatherless homes. And guess who is to blame? The leg spreaders. You. Allowing the men that you want to bust inside you, you lay with them, and then expect them to pay? Okay. I'm sorry. But here in my state, you can't just pull up to a gas station, fill up with gas, and drive off anymore. You know what? They stopped that 20 years ago. You have to prepay. You understand? When you pull into a gas station, you have to hand the clerk money and prepay, or you have to insert your credit card into the slot. and prepay. Nothing is free. But guess what you ladies are doing? You're not requiring payment. You're fair game at that point. It's called fair use. You understand what fair use is? That means you can't get them for copyright. Look it up. All right. People on the internet want to talk about, they're copyrighting my material and all this stuff. It was my video originally. No, you should look up fair use laws. Fair use laws means I can take that and use it in my video. Okay. And that's what you ladies are. You've become fair use. You're fair game. You're not requiring marriage contracts anymore. Why should we respect that shit? Because we know you're going to take our kids. You're not going to let us see them. You're not going to let us have the influence. So why should we care and why should we pay you? That's your problem. That's not our problem. Anyways, so yeah, I pretty much unloaded on this lady because I don't give a shit. I mean, you're dating a man who's 39 years old. I'm 39 years old. You think I was just not doing anything for the past 20 years? No, I was getting married and starting a family. Of course I'm going to have kids. And men like me do. Right? You expect men to go into their 40s not having any baggage. You are delusional. And if you think men like me don't care about our kids, you're even more delusional. Because you know why women take and keep kids from their fathers? Because they're not getting something that they want. And if they are, it's not as much as they want. But like I said, the courts are not going to force these men to do anything because they don't owe you anything. They would rather go sit in a jail with their buddies than to pay you a single red penny. So get that through your thick skull. Freak out of here, man. Shit pisses me off. We got men out here who actually do care, who actually do try, who actually do pay their child support, who do show up and visit. And it's still a problem. Bunch of selfish people out here. All right. That's all I have for you guys today. Have a nice day. I'm BP signing out.